So on this episode of Turner Talks, we are going global. We are speaking to a representative from Virtual. So Lindsay, I welcome you this morning. And how about you give us just a little bit of your bio, tell us what you're doing, and tell us how you got there.
So I'm currently working for Virtual Limited. I joined there at the end of last year. I was a clinical radiation therapist for over 10 years and moved into development of new techniques and image guidance, and last year moved across to help Virtual develop VERT along with the software developers and promote it and sell it to all the lovely people of the Americas.
Wonderful. So we're going to dig much deeper into this as we go on. But for those people, so VERT is relatively popular in the United States and internationally. But for those people that don't know what Virtual is, how about just a very quick kind of explanation? And then, like I said, we'll dig deeper into it as we go on.
Yeah, so it is a simulation training aid for radiotherapy, or radiation therapy as you call it over there. So it's an artificial representation of what would happen in a clinical setting. So we can give it to students at universities to help them build confidence before going into the clinical setting. We can use it in a clinical setting for continual professional development as we're moving from one manufacturer of a machine to another, as we're moving from one type of technique to another. We can also assess errors on it, use it to have a look at why it might have happened and kind of the impact of it, and help staff revisit an error in more detail than you would be able to do as to say just discussing it. And we also can use it for patient education. So it's a interactive piece of software that is a simulation of the inside of a LINAC room going into the in-depth of the inside of a patient and their plan.
From a personal standpoint, because you said you were a clinical radiotherapist for 10 years before you moved into training and then on with VERT, how have you seen, since you said it was implemented in 2007, so how have you seen personally, if you had experience with it in some of its early generations, how has it changed? How has it grown, and what does it look like now compared to what it looked like when it began?
So it actually was released, I qualified in 2009, so we had it for my final year of studying. We do a 3-year degree course. So by the time it had come to our university, I was probably kind of the other end, going on to nearly qualifying. So it was very beneficial. We used to use it quite a lot, but with our first year students. And then 10 years later, obviously, I've revisited it, coming to work for the company, and it's got so much more than I remembered it having. It's moved into MRI. We're going to have PET support in it. We've got proton. So as radiotherapy in general evolves, as it always does, it's a forever evolving kind of treatment, isn't it? It never stays still for long. You're always kind of learning a new thing to help patients. We evolve with it, so it does grow, and it has grown since that very first initial introduction to me when I was 20 to now.
What's the future of VERT, and where do you see it going?
So we are very close to finalised development of IBA, which is exciting because obviously we've already had ProBeam. We've also moved into, a lot of people have asked for a mobile system. So because our seminar systems in the classrooms for universities are perfect because they're fixed and they're big and the students can really get involved. In clinical situations, they maybe want to move it from room to room. So we've started to look at a mobile, which we're hoping, we were going to launch at Estro, but it got cancelled because of coronavirus, so launch at a different time. And also VERT on Demand is the working title. We don't think that will be the final title, which is a cloud-based.
Gotcha.
So again, this will be offered to our customers. So I think it's probably our cloud-based VERT and our mobile vert, which is our main, and then, as I said earlier, we are actually starting to look at expanding our portfolio outside of radiotherapy. So we're in some discussions there with companies there, but I can't say too much about that, unfortunately.
Well, what an exciting time for learning, for education, for the way things are changes, for adapting to, you know, technology and technological advances. So I thank you a whole bunch, Lindsay.
Oh, no, you're fine. Thank you for having me. It's
Yeah, we'll get that physics one done as well. This has been fun, so thanks so much.